Hey, what's up, traders? Today, what I decided to do, I wanted to do a recap on today's trade because it had something to do with the recent pick I put up. What trend am I in? And so this is the 60-minute chart of the Emini ES. Well, here on the 60-minute, we were in a uptrend, and we had this big sell-off today. When we had this sell-off, this was all shortable, but we had to take note that in this time frame, the 60-minute, this uptrend was never violated. So we do have 60-minute buyers here. The 60-minute chart, the uptrend was never violated, even with this move down. So this was just something to take note of. Now, just because the uptrend wasn't violated doesn't mean it couldn't go up and then base here and go down. But this is take note of that it is buyers here in this area, and depending on what prices tell us when it gets to that area can make us decision if we want to go long or should be shorting. So this is what I want to show you before I do a recap of today's trade, that the 60-minute uptrend was never violated. This is why knowing a trend is so important, so you know which direction the money is flowing at this particular point in time. This was shortable. If I was able to short here, which I wasn't able to get in, it would have had to be at this play. Other than that, none of these gave me a good shorting opportunity that I want to take that fit my trading plan. So this is the sell-off that we had this morning, and after the sell-off, you see I had actually two trades today, one loss and one winner. This was the trade right here where actually I went long, and I call this sucker bait. I fell for the sucker bait right here, and so they got me on that. And the reason why this was more a trickier play today, because we had different time frames at different levels of their support being violated. So it was kind of putting some in different transitional trends. So that just makes it not saying it's not tradable, just makes it a bit more difficult. So right here they got me on some sucker bait. So I got stopped out right here, and as we go on further, price action kind of just went sideways for a minute. None of these were plays for me over here, but actually here, this I went long again. So after I was stopped out here, I went long again right here. So by going long right here, I went long, and I knew at this point buyers were here. We're in the area of major support in the higher time frames, and this gave me a possible reversal signal right here, so between price and volume. So as we see on this, I only did actually I did divide it up in two lots. I sold off 2/3 on my first lot, and additional 2/3 here. Usually I like to do 3 lots, but I did 2/3 just because the market was kind of tricky. This was at that area of major support on that 60-minute, because the 60-minute I knew we were still in a higher time frame. So odds, because everything is just an odds play, no one knows which direction the market will go. Odds told me if prices form a strong pattern here, then I can initiate and go long. This is a 2-minute chart. This is the time frame that I use for my entries, and when we got right here is where I sold off my first 2/3, and I was holding on here to see if I can get a bigger gain, but it stopped me out here. Still at a profit. Both of them were at a profit. So the main unique thing about today's trade was that a lot of individuals, when it came down here, some might even got caught trying to go short right here. But at that point, when I had to see that the 60-minute trend was violated before I can consider going short. And so short at this close to support. Up at the top back here, yeah, all of this was shortable if it was plays for you to go short. That wasn't a problem because we had room to move. Here at this point, we didn't have room to move, and so we were looking to see what did prices tell us, how many people were interested at that area of support. And so this is why I want the unique, because this is based really more weight was put on the trend than actually the pattern. The pattern, I still have to have a pattern, but more weight was put on the trend. So I could have been stopped out a bunch of times, but I left my stop to my first target was hit. It was all or nothing. So it was like a religion. I had put my faith in the trend on this, and so that's pretty much how that turned out. So this is today's recap. This is the recap of the trades I took today. I took had one loss and one win, and the reason why on my trades I don't tell you how many ticks or how many points that I have. I don't even add that up into the end of the week. I don't want to be counting dollars each day trying to see how much money was made, and that'll make my mind start becoming subjective, focusing more on the dollar amount than the price. And so some people can look at their profit and loss and do it. I just do it, tally at the end of the week, and I just do, every just day by day. So that's how I do my trades. So I don't know how many ticks it was, but what I do know, when I first enter my trade, I do have a risk to reward ratio. So I do know that I have my stops and everything, my stops and targets pretty much predefined in there. So I do know that my risk and reward ratio is fine, but the minus this tick from these ticks that I made here, reminding my loss and wins, I don't do that. So until next time, traders.